Oh my gosh, did you know? Did you know that I am a liberal and a conservative at the same time? Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, I just did not even know. So let me tell you this absolute crazy thing. So literally in the same day, I see multiple different comments from people saying certain things. Someone calling me a progressive libtard, okay, under one comment, and then another one saying I didn't know that this was a conservative conspiracy theory channel. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, so hold on a minute, hold on. So which one is it? Am I a progressive libtard or a conservative? A conservative conspiracy theorist? What? I mean, oh my gosh, okay, so let's just back up for a minute. Has anyone else been labeled as, a liberal or a conservative? I'm sure, based on what you believe, based on what your ideas are, perhaps you've been labeled as one of those, or a libtard or a conspiracy theorist, okay? One of those two. Okay. Now, have you been labeled as both of them at any point? Because I have. I don't know how you could label me as both. But here's the thing. I am neither. I would not consider myself a liberal, a progressive, or a conservative. I am neither of those, and I do not want to be grouped together with those, because that's not the whole, it's just a label that tries to define you. That's not exactly, how I am. You know what I mean? I think that there's plenty of ideas and thoughts that I have that could be classified as liberal, classified as conservative. It depends on what the situation is, depends on what the issue is. If I'm sure, probably more of my ideas and what my beliefs are probably more conservative than they are liberal. But again, it depends on what the situation is. Okay, it really depends on what the situation is. But I don't think it does not define who I am, because I don't consider myself either one of those. You know what I mean? I just don't, because there's some, as I said, there's some issues on both sides that I agree with and disagree with. So what would that make me then? Like in the middle? Something that's in the middle? I don't know if there's a term for that, like a centrist. I don't know if I would even consider myself that, because I don't really, the whole political thing is just a complete scam. It's a complete sham. If you think that your politicians have your best, interests at heart, they don't. And it just amazes me how much people just trust the government and believe that the government is going to get them out of this. Like if there's one thing the past year has taught us, it's to never trust the government. How many of you trust the government? If you're going around wearing a mask, you trust the government because you believe that they have your health at heart. If you're going out and getting the vaccine because Dr. Fauci and all your government officials said so, it's because you trust the government, because you believe that they have your best interests at heart. Or, trust the CDC or whatever else. They don't. The government has no interest in your public health whatsoever. They have no interest in you, besides the fact that you are a number, you are a sheep, you are like cattle. You can be coerced into doing things that they want you to do, as they bribe you and coerce you, and they will force you to do things to comply so they can surveil you and monitor you. That's all it is. They extort money from you. They essentially steal from you. The government is just the most corrupt type of, organization that there actually is. It is a criminal organization, essentially. So I don't have any trust in the government whatsoever. So anything that comes out of the government's mouth, or any sort of public health official, the governor, the president, prime minister, whoever else it is, the first thing I'm going to think of is the opposite as to what the truth is. They say that there's a public health emergency. I'm going to think, what is their agenda? What is going on here? Why are they doing this? What sort of power do they want? These people are power hungry. They're never going to give up any power. And people think If everyone just complies, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, if everyone just complies, that the government will give you back your power. Those are the people that trust the government. Those are the people who love the government, who bow down to the government and say, I will do anything. Those are the people who say, govern me harder, daddy. You know? Govern me harder, daddy. Govern me as hard as you possibly can. I must be governed harder. Anyway, so I just thought that whole thing was just absolutely crazy. The whole government thing is just complete corruption, complete lies, complete just nonsense. And the fact that people are saying, oh, you're a conservative this, you're a libtard this. I'm like, it's so confusing. It's so confusing. It's like, guess what? I am neither. Okay, because liberal or conservative, they're both part of the problem. That is government. There's nothing wrong in the world except for government. Government is the root cause of most of the problems in the world. It is the government. When people start to realize that, who the true threat actually is, it's not a little virus you can't see. It's not, all this other stuff that that you may be thinking, racial inequality, discrimination. No, that's not the problem. The problem is the government, because the government is causing all those things. It's almost like one of those charts where you have a big box up here, that is the government, and then all these different branches that come off of it. It is like a tree, People are focusing on the leaves and the branches. They're not looking at the trunk. The trunk is the government. That is the problem. And a lot of the stuff the government does, underground. It's the roots, under the ground. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know how they're doing it. They're doing things that are going to harm you in some sort of way. They're essentially leeching, from you. But anyway, that was all. So you all take care. Have a great one. And let me know your thoughts on this. You take care. Bye-bye.